Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affairs of 19th August. Namaste scheme. First is Namaste scheme, recently seen in the news associated with which of the following? It is self-help groups or daily wage laborers in unorganized sector or sanitation workers or beggars. Namaste scheme, it is. Answer is sanitation workers. Namaste means National Action for mechanized sanitation ecosystem. For mechanized sanitation ecosystem, this is Namaste scheme, right? It is for, yes, it is an initiative for the to ensure the safety of sanitation workers. Namaste scheme, because many times it is seen that in sanitation workers they die because of the toxic gases that is from that emerge from the stock pits, right? While collecting the wastes. Okay, next, Osiris Rex mission is associated with which of the following? It is Sun, Mars, near Earth asteroid, exoplanetary mission. What is this Osiris X mission? It is, yes, it is about, it is near Earth asteroid, right? It means it is near Earth asteroid, that is asteroid Bennu. This is launched by NASA. NASA has launched Osiris Rex mission. This spacecraft departed from asteroid Bennu and it is returning to Earth, right? So it is launched by NASA. Near Earth asteroid. It is joining to asteroid Bennu. It is NASA spacecraft. It is joining to asteroid Bennu. What are asteroids? Asteroids are basically, actually, these are minor planets. Asteroids are minor planets which can neither be classified as a planet nor comet. Right? They generally directly orbit around the sun. Asteroid also orbit around the sun. Okay, next question. Asteroid Bennu, often mentioned in the news. Which of the following? It is near Earth asteroid, right? Asteroid Bennu. A is the answer. This is launched by NASA. Next, consider the following statements. Iodic acid HiO3 can act as a driver of aerosol particle formation in the Arctic. Aerosol particle formation in the Arctic region, which is responsible for Arctic amplification. A thaw and the melt, which is caused by Arctic amplification, can potentially give rise to diseases. Both the statements are right here. Right? The thaw and the melt that can give rise to diseases in Arctic region, right? Okay. Which is yes, iodic acid can become it can act as a driver of aerosol. Hayabusa 2. Hayabusa 2 mission, it is associated with which of the following? Hayabusa 2, it is launched by Japan. Remember, Hayabusa 2, it is launched by Japan. Hayabusa 2. It is launched by Japan, and that is Japanese Space Agency or JAXA. Japanese Space Aerospace Exploration Agency JAXA has launched Hayabusa 2. It is uh, it is to asteroid Ryugu, right? Asteroid Ryugu, to collect underground samples of asteroid Ryugu. Hayabusa mission Hayabusa 2 was launched by Japan. It is Hayabusa 2. It was launched in 2014, right? It was launched in 2014. Hayabusa 2. Okay. It will drill and collect some samples. Okay. What is steep phenomena? Steep phenomena often mentioned in news can be associated with which of the following? It is atmospheric optical phenomenon. Steep phenomena. It is atmospheric also orbital optical phenomenon, which is a luminous luminous purple arc whose length is around 25 kilometer wide. So the wide is around 25 kilometer wide, right? That is made up of hot plasma. It appears this steep phenomenon appears that extends from nearer to the equator, right? It appears nearer to equator, and it extends from east to west. So this steep phenomena, it is an atmospheric optical phenomenon, which is a luminous purple arc 25-kilometer wide. It is made up of hot plasma, and that moves nearer to the equator. Next, the terms tilapia and hormone often mentioned in news. Tilapia and hormone, they are mentioned in news. Uh, they are food fish, right? Wildly cultivated. These are genetical modified farmed tilapia. The genetical modified farmed tilapia. They are the food fish that are widely cultivated in regions of Kerala, because Kerala government is promoting these things because people have faced joblessness. People are facing the joblessness after the COVID. That's why, to improve their fishery, Kerala government has started this food fish cultivation, that is hormone or tilapia. Right? It is primarily promoted by Kerala University of Fisheries. See, Kerala was there are various projects. Kerala has launched a Sea Space OTT platform. Sea Space OTT platform. It was also launched by Kerala, right? Sea Space OTT platform, over the top platform like Amazon Prime or Netflix. It is government Sea Space OTT platform. It has also launched Soily app. Soily application. It was launched by Kerala government. Why? To combat the lifestyle diseases. To combat lifestyle diseases, Kerala government has started OTT platform, that is Soily app, Soily application. Right? You can write also. Kerala government has also developed another project, that is Cosmos Malabaricus. Cosmos Malabaricus. What is Cosmos Malabaricus? Cosmos Malabaricus. It is a project. Cosmos Malabaricus by Kerala government and Netherlands government. Kerala plus Netherlands. Both government have started Cosmos Malabaricus to study the Dutch archives. So that both Kerala and Netherlands, they will know about each other's history. Dutch came to Kerala in 1595. Dutch came to Kerala, right? They have ruled over Kerala. So there are some documents. There are some archive Dutch are documents regarding Kerala that exist, and that's why Kerala government want to study them. Netherlands government is also want to study them. So both will exchange the information, they will research, right? So 1595, when it is 1595 when Dutch came to Kerala, right? So these are food fishes. Tilapia and hormone, they are food fishes. Consider the following statement with reference to recent data on pollution. Recent data on pollution of global cities. No, and nitrogen oxide next slide has shorter lifetime as compared to PM2 4.5. Is that Delhi and Kolkata ranked first and second in the top 10 most polluted cities of PM 2.5 level. No Indian city appeared in the list of top 20 polluted cities when NO2 levels were compared. Yes. So all the statements are all the statements regarding pollution is right. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Next. Vostok East. Vostok exercise will not see participation of which of the following countries. Vostok exercise, it is there are many countries in Vostok exercise, but not it is India will participate, Mongolia will participate, China will participate, but USA will not participate in the Vostok exercise. Russia will also participate in Vostok exercise. USA will not participate in the Vostok exercise. It is multilateral exercise, right? Next, Israel does not border the does not share the border with which of the following? It is Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea and does not share the border. Okay. Next, Israel Barak missile was in news. Barak missile was in news regarding Israel. India and Israel both are developing Barak missile. Barak missile, it is a surface to air missile. Surface to air missile, Barak missile, that is developed by India. India and Israel. That is ballistic missile. Who publishes World Employment and Social Outlook? World Employment and Social Outlook, it is published by International Labour Organization or ILO. International Labour Organization or ILO, it publishes World Employment and Social Outlook. With reference to antimicrobial resistance, with reference to antimicrobial resistance AMR, consider the following statements. It occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites no longer respond to the medicine. Yes, that is antimicrobial resistance. When they no longer respond to the medicine, what you eat, right? Next, second is antimicrobial resistance organisms are found only human only. No, this is wrong. It is not only found in human. It is also found in the antimicrobial resistance organisms. It is found in case of uh, animals and also plants, other animals, plants. It is also found. WHO has declared aim or top 10 global public health threats to humanity. Yes, WHO has declared top 10 global public health emergency threats to humanity. Around 7 lakh per year, around 7 lakh people are dying because of antimicrobial resistance. It occurs because of indiscriminate use of antibiotics, right? Using again and again antibiotics, antimicrobial resistance can develop. And improper doses of antibiotics, that is also responsible, right? Next question, which with reference to Miss Kerala, Puni Pontius denisoni, Miss Kerala, consider the following. It is a native freshwater fish species commonly found in parts of Karnataka and Kerala. Native freshwater fish species commonly found in parts of Karnataka and Kerala. Yes, the International Union of Conservation of has threatened species classified it as vulnerable. Miss Kerala, it is, yes, it is not vulnerable. It is endangered. Endangered. Its status is endangered. Miss Kerala, which is a fish species commonly found in Karnataka, and it is a freshwater fish species. Yes, found in Karnataka, Karnataka and Kerala, which is secured by, which is found. It is um, Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection. White Schedule. It has been included in the Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. Right. So it is endangered status. Its status is endangered. It is especially rivers stream found in the rivers of Western Ghats. Okay, that is Miss Kerala. With reference to sovereign bonds, consider the following: it is debt security issued by government. Yes, it is debt security issued by government. That means both. Yes, in case of sovereign bond, both in case of sovereign bond, both foreign investors and Indian investors, they can buy sovereign bond. Their bonds will mature after a particular interval of time. Electoral bonds are not sovereign bonds, because electoral bonds, especially if when a particular party donate to a when a particular private individual donate to a political party, they will do it by electoral bonds. But the problem is that political party will not return the money. But here, in case of debt security, they are getting the benefit. They will get a higher amount of money, right? By those who purchase bond, right? They will not get the interest, but they will purchase the, for example, they will purchase RS 100 rupees bond at 90 rupees, and when it will mature, they will get 100 rupees, right? That are called as bonds, sovereign bonds. That is released by the government of India or the sovereign governments. Recently, Nusantara has been was in news. Why? Because Indonesia has changed its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara. From Jakarta to Nusantara, Indonesia has changed its Indonesia has changed from Jakarta to Nusantara. He was foremost 20th century leader, Pashtuns leader, that is related to northeastern frontier presence. He met Mahatma Gandhi and entered politics during agitation over Rollout Act that came in 1919, that is to arrest Indian people without trial, to keep in jail Indian people without trial, that is Rollout Act. He was called the Frontier Gandhi. He is also known as Frontier Gandhi. He founded Red Research Party, Khudai Khidmat Kar, that is called as Khudai Khidmat Kar, Frontier Gandhi. He started Pakhtun, a monthly journal of Pakhtun. His memoirs, My Life, My Struggle, were made public in 1969. He was Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Frontier Gandhi, monthly journal Post 2, and Red Shirt Party or Khudai Khidmatgar is also called as Frontier Gandhi. He belongs to Northwestern Frontier Province, right? And Northwestern Frontier Province, NWFP, right? What's the following statements regarding the species Puma species? What is Puma species? It is found throughout Asia. No, it is found primarily in the Caribbean region. It's not sorry, California region. Pumas, it is not Asia. It is found in the California region. California region, right? Their IUCN status is vulnerable. No, IUCN status is least concern. IUCN status is least concern of Puma. Puma is especially a mountain lions. These are mountain lions or cougars. Cougars, mountain lions or cougars. They are mountain lions. There it is fine. It is California, right? They are mountain lions. They are Puma. So D is the answer. With reference to Brahmos missile, supersonic cruise missile, Brahmos missile is a supersonic cruise missile. Cruise missile. Brahmos, that is created by both and DRDO and not NASA. NASA is not. It is Russia, right? India and Russia both have cooperated. India and Russia, though they both have jointly developed the Brahmos missile, right? DRDO. Okay. Uh, it can be launched from submarine ships, aircraft, and platforms. Yes, it can be launched from any of the ships, aircraft, land platform, submarine. It flies. It flies at a speed almost 3 times the speed of the sound. Yes, 3 Mach. That is called as Mach number is 3. Mach number means number of speed of satellite by speed of sound. Mach number is 3. Supersonic cruise missile. What is a cruise missile and what is a ballistic missile? Ballistic missile means which has ballistic path. It will be thrown here like this, like a stone. Right? It will reach the target, approximate target. But cruise missile will reach the exact target. Accuracy of cruise missile is more high accuracy, but low range. High accuracy and low range is the it is cruise missile. But ballistic missile is low accuracy as compared to the cruise missile, but its range is very high. For example, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, their range is very high. Russia has launched ICBM Sarmat 28, Sarmat 28, 28, Sarmat 28. This is launched by Russia, right? ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, whose range is around 11,000 kilometer to 18,000 kilometer, right? Cuba. Cuba lies between which of the following water bodies? It is Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea. Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea. Cuba lies between the both in Central America. With reference to Attorney General of India, he is the first law official. He is a government servant? No, he is a government servant. It's not a government servant because he can privately practice as well. Attorney General of India can make private practice. He belongs Article 76 talks about Attorney General of India. Attorney General of India, he is the first law official. First law officer of India is Attorney General of India. First law officer, right? He should be qualified to be appointed as Supreme Court judge. He should be qualified to be appointed as Supreme Court judge. Yes, this is right. First law officer of India is appointed by the President. He works during the pleasure of the President. That is the pleasure of the Council of Ministers. Works during the pleasure of the President. He can take part in the proceedings of both houses as well as in the joint sitting. He has right to speak in the Parliament also. But the fact is that he cannot vote. He cannot vote, right? He can make private practice, but not against the government. He cannot vote. So 2 and 3 are right regarding Attorney General of India. Which of the following projects come under State Environment Impact Assessment Authority? State Environment Impact Assessment Authority, metallurgical industries, highways, cement plants, hydroelectric power projects. See, highways are coming, they comes under central government, so they are not coming under State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority. So metallurgical industries, cement plants, hydroelectric power plants. So 1, 3, 4, they are right answer. They comes under State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority. Environmental impact means if a particular project is being developed, what are the possible consequences of it? What are the social and environmental consequences that a particular project will cause? With reference to National Commission for Safai Karmacharis, National Commission for Safai Karmacharis consider the following statements. It is acting as a non-statutory body of the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Acting as a non-statutory body. At present, it's not, but it's a non-statutory body at present. It was statutory, but it is now, it is non-statutory body. But it is not on the Ministry of Labour, it is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Right? It monitors the implementation of prohibition of employment as manual scavengers and Rehabilitation Act. Yes, this is right. The tenure cannot be expanded, right? This can be extended. This is recently the tenure extended by 3 years, so that's why it is in news. So only 3 is the answer. It is under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, National Commission for Safai Karmacharis to ensure their rights and to reduce the manual scavenging. With reference to Swamitwa scheme, consider the following statements. It is launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. No, this is launched by not Ministry of Housing. It is launched by Ministry of Rural Development. The Ministry of Rural Development plus Ministry of Rural Development has launched and plus Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. Ministry of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, they have launched Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So this is wrong. Next, it is centrally sponsored scheme, not is a centrally sectored scheme. Centrally sectored schemes means 100% fund will be beared by the central government. It aims to allow citizens to use their property as a financial asset for taking loans and other financial benefits, because it will develop land digitization, land digitization, land digitization, Swamitwa scheme, so that it will multiple benefits of it. There will be reducing corruption, there will be black money, right? Black money is anyway people now even people are buying huge amount of lands on the basis of money. They are purchasing huge amount of lands, so that is land digitization. Okay, next. With reference to Neocov consider the following statements. It is a bad coronavirus that was first identified in 2011. Neocov, it is a bad coronavirus that is 2011. It said 85% similarity with MERS-CoV genome sequence. Yes, this is right. Infection in Neocov could be cross-neutralized by antibodies targeting SARS-CoV-2 or MERS-CoV. So this can be cross-neutralized also. So all those three statements are right here regarding Neocov. He was born in Hisar district of Haryana. He was the foremost exponent of Mewati Gharana. Gharana means your classical Hindustani classical music, and Drupad, and brought element of devotional singing Khayal by employing harkas, murkhis that are associated with light classical music. He created a unique form of Jugalbandi called as Jasrangi, in which male and female singers sing different ragas in their respective scales to merge their individual displays into one unified performance. He was Pandit Yasraj, right? Pandit Yasraj. What is the aim of KV Kamath Committee? KV Kamath Committee, it was set up by RBI to restructure the corporate loans, right? Corporate loans restructuring, which have become NPA or non-performing asset. Non-performing asset means those loans uh, which is defaulted for 90 days, right? That means for 3 months. If you are not paying a particular loan for 3 months, that will be NPA. There are various methods to control this. I mean, to handle this NPA issues. One is loan restructuring. Loan restructuring means increasing the period of loan, that is decreasing the interest, decreasing the uh, increasing the period of loan, and decreasing the amount of installment. This is one. So these are called a loan restructuring, right? That is set up by RBI to restructure corporate loans. KV Kamath Committee. What is Nidhi Khatri Committee? Nidhi Khatri Committee is for right to repair. Remember, Nidhi Khatri Committee. It is for right to repair. Right to repair committee is Nidhi Khatri Committee. Right to repair committee, Nidhi Khatri Committee. What are the key differences between regular application and decentralized applications? DApps, decentralized application. Decentralized means this is centralized, but this is decentralized. When different application, decentralized applications, higher computing power than regular application. Yes, because that will be based, for example, that is similar like your edge computing. Edge computing, that is decentralized computing, which is more efficient, right? Computing more computing power than the regular application. Even if some network nodes goes down, the D application will continue to function normally. Network nodes goes down, right? Because earlier what was happening in case of centralized system, if the network goes down, whole system become dysfunctional or function slowly. But here it is decentralized, so each is there is different nodes for each application. That's why that will continue to work. DApps are more vulnerable to cyber attacks. No, they are less vulnerable because they are decentralized, right? They are decentralized. All the statements are correct. Uh, oh, so sorry, this is wrong. They are less vulnerable. That's why, yes, this is less vulnerable. Less vulnerable. So one and two statements are right. One and two statements are right regarding decentralized applications. If the following country is not a member of ASEAN, not a member of ASEAN, Laos, Papua New Guinea is not a member of ASEAN. Brunei, Thailand, Laos, they are major members of Asian countries. Philippines, right? Singapore, Philippines, Singapore, these are all Asian countries, but Papua New Guinea, that is not a Asian country. So B is the answer. Bhandari community was recently is news. It is in Goa. Bhandari community, they are in Goa because they are significant of numbers. They are relevant so far as Goa election. That's why Bhandari community. It is Goa. Recently in news. With reference to National Girl Child Day, with reference to National Girl Child Day, consider the following statement: the day has been celebrated since independence. Now, Girl Child Day is celebrated from 2008. Since 2008, National Girl Child Day it is celebrated on 24th January. 24th January, National Girl Child Day is celebrated every year. It is celebrated to raise awareness regarding inequalities. No, this is wrong. This is not regarding inequalities. It is to decrease female feticide. To decrease, the primary aim to is to girl child. That's why primary aim to decrease female feticide. Feticide and sending attitude towards towards girls. That is the primary objective of National Girl Child Day. That is it is celebrated in 24 January in 2008. Right. It is ministry who has started it. It is started by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Ministry of Women and Child Development. Right. The options are not in organized way. Child Development. Launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Launched in 2008. Objective is to reduce female feticide. Okay. Now we'll discuss from important prelims facts. Okay. Okay. Namaste scheme. What is this Namaste scheme? National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem Namaste scheme. It is a centrally sectored scheme. Remember, centrally sectored scheme which is launched by Ministry of Social Justice Empowerment as a joint project of Ministry of Social Justice Empowerment and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Because this sanitation system mechanized and this is usually they work in the urban areas in the they work for the cleaning of drains. Namaste envisages so it is centrally sectored scheme under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and that is collaboration with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Namaste envisages safety and dignity of sanitation workers. Safety and dignity of sanitation workers in urban area by creating an enabling ecosystem. Recognize sanitation workers as one of the key contributors in operations, maintenance of sanitation infrastructure. They are providing sustainable livelihood, enhancing their occupational safety through capacity building and improved access to safety gear and machines. So, increasing mechanized, making them mechanized. So, providing them sustainable livelihood, enhancing occupational safety, and recognizing sanitation workers as the key contributors in maintenance of sanitation and providing safety and dignity to the sanitation workers. To ensure safety and dignity sanitation workers, urban India providing sustainable livelihood, safety and dignity of sanitation workers, and enhancing their occupational safety through capacity building and improved access to safety gear. Okay. Namaste also aim to providing access to alternative livelihood support. What is and entitlements to reduce the vulnerabilities of sanitation worker and enable them access self-employment, skilled wage employment opportunities to break intergenerationality sanitation work. To break the intergenerationality sanitation work. What is intergenerational sanitation work? It means if father is a sanitation worker, his son will be a sanitation worker, and generation to generation there will be sanitation work. That is the problem. We have to we have to live in a society that there should be social mobility. Social mobility means when a person of lower background in the society that moves up to top background of the society move upward direction, that is called as social mobility. But if that intergenerational sanitation work, it prevents social mobility. So that signifies that there is no social mobility. If father is a sanitation worker and son is a sanitation worker, then obviously then it is showing that there is no social mobility, there is no improvement, and that is should not be. That is not a symbol of good society, right? Rising society. So there should be provided some skilled ways of employment opportunities, self-employment. There should be given some self-employment opportunities, right? Recently, also Indian government the startup have increased around 15,000%. Right? Startups have increased around 15,000%. In addition, Namaste would bring about behavior change among citizens towards the sanitation workers. Behavior change among citizens towards sanitation workers. That is the most important thing. Gandhiji had said about dignity is the most important thing to give the dignity also to sanitation workers. Gandhiji himself was making some sanitary works. That's why to providing dignity is most important thing in a society. Dignity is something that should be given to, that should not be linked with any type of job. That is why there. That is why Namaste scheme this envisages to give them dignity. Namaste aims to achieve the following outcomes: zero fatalities in sanitation works. Many times because of toxic gases they die. So there should be zero fatalities. Nobody should die because during the work conditions, because the toxic gases are released from the sanitation from the wastes. All sanitation work is performed by skilled workers. They must be trained properly. There should be capacity building. There should be skilling regarding these sanitation works, so that that will be skilled, so that they will do it properly. No sanitation worker come in direct contact with human fecal matter. Remember, this is the most important thing. We should stop when the government is to ban manual scavenging. So they should not come direct contact with human fecal matter. That is because so this is one of the most important thing. Right? Manual scavenging is banned. Sanitation workers are collectivized to self-help groups and are empowered to run sanitation enterprises. They can run sanitation enterprises and they can make a collectivized into self-help groups. They can create a self-help group themselves and they can work together. All sewer and septic tank sanitation workers (SSW) have access to alternative livelihoods. They they should have access to alternative livelihoods. Uh, their government should provide them that much of capital or skill to start from alternative livelihood by under Startup India or Startup India or under Mudra scheme. Increased stringent supervisory and monitoring systems of national, state, and urban local bodies levels to ensure enforcement and monitoring of safe sanitation work. Stringent supervising, yes. This Namaste scheme also towards supervision and monitoring system at national level, state level, and urban local bodies level. So it calls to strengthen the monitoring system regarding sanitation work so that their dignity and safety should not be compromised. Name. Increase awareness among the sanitation workers individual to seek services from registered and skilled sanitation workers. Awareness among sanitation service seekers. I mean the public, individuals and institutions who seek sanitation. They should seek service from registered and skilled sanitation workers. Right? Unskilled sanitation. They should not bring unskilled sanitation workers so that there are chances that they will die inside the septic tank. Many times they die. Right? That is the reason uh, when they are unskilled. 500 cities are covering Amrit cities. Amrit cities will be taken up under the page of Namaste. Amrit cities, whatever that is in urban areas. The category of cities will be eligible as given below. All cities and towns with population over 1 lakh, notified municipalities, including cantonment boards, civilian areas. All capital cities, towns, states, union territories not covered under the 4I, that is according 4I. What are these 4I? We'll see. So especially those who have more than 1 lakh population, they will be added. 10 cities from hill states, island and tourist destination, not more than one from each state. Uh, the scheme will be approved with an outlay of 360 crore. Now what's the scheme? 360 crore, 4 years from 2022 to 23 to 2025 to 26. Right? 360 crore will be given to Namaste scheme. Okay, that is to provide safety and dignity to the sanitation workers. What is steep phenomenon? Steep phenomenon. The cosmic phenomenon known as strong thermal emission velocity enhancement made surprise appearance after huge solar storm hit the Earth. Strong thermal emission velocity enhancement, that is steep phenomenon. Surprise appearance. It is after a huge solar storm hit the Earth. It is appeared in the sky in 2017 and has been appearing often since. There is no evidence. There is evidence to support the claim that phenomenon has been visible in the sky since 1705. That steep phenomenon, it is there. Since it is sometimes it is visible first time since 1705. Okay, what is this steep phenomenon? We'll see how does it occur. It is occur in phenomenon believed to cause 25-kilometer wide ribbon of hot plasma. 25 wide ribbon of hot plasma moving at a speed of 6 kilometer per second, that is 10 kilometer second outside the river, and altitude of 450 kilometer. At the altitude of 450 kilometer, 25 kilometer wide ribbon of hot plasma that moves 6 kilometer per second. That is steep phenomenon. It is observed in New Zealand, Canada, Alaska, United Kingdom during specific time of the year between October to February, which led NASA scientists to believe its occurrence is related to seasons. As it is between October to February, New Zealand, Canada, Alaska, United Kingdom, and that is steep phenomenon is seen over 450 kilometer altitude. How it is different from aurora borealis? Disturbances in Earth are magnetic sphere due to solar wind cause Earth's magnetic sphere due to solar wind called as auroras. The disturbances occurs because of enhancement in the speed of the solar wind from coronal holes to coronal mass ejection and coronal mass ejections. That causes aurora borealis. While the skylight steep in the aurora might seem similar, but they are not alike. Big steep phenomenon is closer to equator than the auroras. Right? Closer to equator, see steep phenomenon is primarily predominantly it is seen in the equator lines. Steep is different from usual aurora, but it is made light and it is different from auroral system. Different from usual aurora. Finding of Hayabusa 2 proof. Next is different from aurora. It made light and driven by auroral system. Next is Hayabusa 2 proof. Findings of Hayabusa 2, which is launched by Japan. Remember, the Hayabusa 2 it is launched by Japan, the JAXA, right? Mm. Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, Aerospace Exploration Agency, that is JAXA. Okay, Hayabusa 2 proof. In an article published in the journal Nature of Astronomy on Monday, scientists from Japan suggest that water and organic materials might have been brought to our planet from the our edges of the solar system. The scientists made a hypothesis after analyzing samples from the asteroid Ryugu. Asteroid Ryugu. Called by Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency JAXA Hayabusa 2 probe, which has brought 5.4 grams of rocks and dust from asteroid to the Earth in December 2020. So this Japanese Space Exploration Agency, which has launched Hayabusa 2 probe, it has brought 5.4 grams of rocks, right? 5.4 grams of rocks from the asteroid to Earth, right? That is from asteroid Ryugu. Okay, next. What is Hayabusa 2 mission? It is December 2014 Hayabusa 2 mission was launched. 6-year voyage to study asteroid Ryugu. It is just Das Welle from 2020. According to report by Das Welle from 2020, the spacecraft, which was approximately the size of a refrigerator, traveled more than 5 billion kilometers to journey 5 billion kilometers during this journey. 5 billion kilometers. The spacecraft arrived in the asteroid in mid 2018 and deployed 2 rovers and small lander onto the surface. The 2019 spacecraft fired an impactor into the asteroid surface to create an artificial crater with a diameter of little more than 10 meters, which allowed it to collect the samples. Then after that it collected the samples. December 2020, Hayabusa 2 delivered small capsule that contained the rock and dust samples when it was 2020 kilometers from the Earth's atmosphere, which safely landed in the South Australian outback. Hayabusa 2's predecessor, Hayabusa mission, Hayabusa mission brought back samples of asteroid Itokawa. So Hayabusa 2 it has brought samples from Ryugu asteroid, and Hayabusa mission it has brought samples from Itokawa. What are the findings? Since the capsule landed on Earth, scientists have been studying invaluable materials weighing merely a few grams but approximately 4.6 billion years old. The asteroid Ryugu is 4.6 billion years old in order to explore the foundation of the solar system. Their analysis and samples have helped exploration the origin of life on our planet. In June, a group of scientists found that materials contained amino acids suggested that these building blocks of life might have formed in space. The current study published recently stated that volatile organic rich C-type asteroids may have been one of the main sources of Earth water. Volatile and organic rich C-type asteroid may have been one of the main sources of Earth water, which is essential for the emergence of life. C-type asteroid, main sources of Earth water, essential emergence of life. While delivery of volatiles, that is water organisms to the Earth, has been subject of debate among scientists, the materials found in the robo particles identified in the study probably represent important source of volatiles. The study claimed that organic material collected probably originated from the fringes of the solar system, but unlikely to be the source of volatiles delivered to the early Earth. So they are not from the source; they are the fringes of the solar system. So where these particles are created, what are the source of volatiles, that should be found out. While the composition of particles collected from Ryugu closely matches the water on Earth, the study notes that there are slight differences, leading scientists to hypothesize our planet's water might have also originated from place to other than asteroids. So, slight difference. So our planet's water might have also originated from place other than the asteroids. So different places there's the water may be found in other regions of the universe. Then what is an asteroid? What is an asteroid? Asteroids are rocky objects that orbit around Sun, much smaller than the planets. They are called as minor planets. According to NASA, there are 9,94,383 known asteroids. The remnants from the formation of the solar system over 4.6 billion years ago. They are the remnants of the solar system found 4.6 billion years ago. Asteroids are divided into three classes. First, those who found in the main asteroid belt between Mars and the Jupiter. It usually found in the Mars and the Jupiter, which is estimated to contain around 1.1 to 1.9 million asteroids. The second group that is that Trojans, that are the Trojans, which are asteroid larger share orbit with the larger planet. NASA reports presence of Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars Trojans. They have also reported Earth Trojan as well. The third classification of northeast asteroids, NEA, which have orbits that pass close to the Earth. Those that cross the Earth orbit called as Earth crossers. More than 10,000 asteroids are known, out of which 14,000 classified potential hazardous asteroids. So there are 9,94,000 asteroids, right? And some are found between the Mars and Jupiter, and some are also there present near Jupiter and Mars, and in Earth and Mars as well, Neptune as well. Ryugu is classified as a PHA, that is discovered 1999, was given the name by Minor Planet and given a name by the Minor Planet Center in 2015. It is 3 million kilometers from Earth and took Hayabusa over 42 months to reach it. Hayabusa 2, it has reached there 42 months. So asteroids are rocky objects that orbit the Sun and much smaller than the planets. So why scientists study asteroids? Since asteroids are one of the oldest celestial bodies in the solar system, scientists study them to look for information about formation of the history of planets in the Sun. Another reason for tracking them to look for asteroids that could possibly crash into Earth, leading to potential hazardous consequences. NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission has collected samples from asteroid Bennu. Remember OSIRIS-REx mission and asteroid Bennu 2020, which will be brought Earth by 2023. Scientists are interested in studying asteroids such as Bennu because it has not undergone drastic changes since the formation over billions years ago. Therefore, the content chemicals rocks dating back to the birth of the solar system. That's why they are studying asteroid belt, NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission. Right. Next, some mains topic, mains question about Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Comptroller and Auditor General of India. CAG has a very critical, vital role to play. Explain how reflected the method and terms of his appointment, as well as the range of powers he can exercise. CAG, it is the most important post in civil services. It is the topmost post in civil services, right? Uh, in the on the order of the presidents of order of the presidents. Uh, so CAG Dr. Ambedkar is the most important because he has to check the corruption. CAG acts as the guardian of public purse. What do you mean by guardian of public purse? Public purse guardian means if any corruption occurs, he will manage the consolidated fund of India. He will look up to the spends on the from the consolidated fund of India. He can see the spendings. He can verify the spendings of different. He can verify the spending of uh, different ministries, whether they are right, perfectly done or not. That's why they are the guardian of public purse or consolidated fund of India, which comes under Article 266 and controls the entire gamut of financial administration. He can investigate any ministry. He can audit any ministry of the state government, central government. He can also audit any part, any government institution where government has invested its money. Article 148 envisages about post of CAG with a tenure of 6 years. With a tenure of 6 years, Article 148 envisages the post of CAG. He appointed by President and can be removed on the grounds of proved misbehavior and incapacity on the basis of resolution passed by special majority of the House of the Parliament, similar to the judge of the Supreme Court. He can be removed on the proved misbehavior and incapacity by a resolution passed by the majority, special majority. That is similarly for removal of a Supreme Court or High Court judge, Article 148. The tenure of 6 years or 65 years age, whichever is earlier, right? Moreover, CAG salary and allowances are charged upon consolidated fund of India. That means they are not regular. Charge means charge. What are charge expenditures? Charge expenditures are those expenditures uh, which are charge expenditures are those expenditures which are uh, no, which basically those which are not subjected to voting in the parliament, right? What happens in every budget there is voting. For every expenditure there is voting in the parliament, but those expenditure which are charge expenditure, in case of charge expenditure, they are not subjected for voting. Ensuring immunity from vote of parliament. Thus, there are strong inbuilt safeguards available to ensure autonomy for the CAG to effectively discharge its role. So they are sort of immune to the vote of parliament, so they can effectively discharge their role. Right? They are not subjected to parliament voting. What are the role of CAG? Conducts legal and regulatory and proprietary audit. Legal audit, regulatory audit, and proprietary audit, where government money is invested. Audit expenditure from contingency fund, that is Article 267, public account fund, consolidated fund of India, and the states. It also audits consolidated fund of the states. Submits audit reports to president and governors of state legislative scrutiny. That means in case of central government, he submit the audit report to the president. In case of state government, he submit the audit report to governor. Now it is up to the president and the governor to present them before the house for the scrutiny. Audits and receipts of expenditure of government companies and entities substantially financed from central government and state revenues. expenditure of government companies, and they are substantially financed from the state governments. The expenditure, state and central revenues, the expenditure of the government companies, right? If that are taken from some finance from state revenue, they are also audit. Audit also occurs for those entities. Act as a guide to Public Accounts Committee of the Parliament, ensuring transparency in financial administration. Right? Public Accounts Committee, that is the one of the most important committee of Parliament. That is the legislature control over the executive. So it is a guide to Public Accounts Committee. Its role of the highest auditing authority is intrinsically linked to the efficacy of the government policies. Highest auditing authority. By keeping watch on financial aspect of the good governance, they are preserving the democratic ethos. So there should be good governance. There should not be corruption. That is the job of the CAG to verify it whether there is corruption or not, whether the financial administration is efficient or not, or if there is huge amount of loan that is pending on a particular entity, that is also issue regarding. That is also the job of CAG. Okay. There are another two topics for discussion. Uh, One is economic development. India is a developed country. Where we are, the challenges ahead. Whether it is India is a developed country or a developing country, what is it? In the Independence Day address, Prime Minister asked Indians to embrace the Panch Pran. What is this Panch Pran? Five vows by 2047. The country celebrates 100 years of independence. First vow, he said, for India to become a developed country in the next 25 years, it was a big resolution. We have to become a developed country. Right? The difference between a developing country and a developed country. We'll see it. What is a developed country? Different global bodies agencies classify countries differently. The World Economic Forum, World Economic Situation and Prospects of the United Nations classifies countries in three broad categories, that is developed economies, economies in transition, developing economies. The idea to reflect the basic economic country conditions in the categories and not strictly aligned with the regional classification. So it is not as through European countries have developed or all Asian lands are developing. So what is the basic country conditions? That depends on whether a country is developed or developing country. To categorize country by economic condition, United Nations uses our World Bank categorization. United Nations uses World Bank categorization based on gross national income per capita in US dollars. What is the national income per capita? Gross national income per capita based on US dollar. The country will be calculated whether it is a developed country or it is a developing country. Now see this chart. Low income countries are Afghanistan, Zambia, and lower income, yes, lower middle income. Pakistan, this is India, 2170. Bangladesh is better than India in terms of gross national income per capita. Then South Africa, then Brazil, then China. High income countries like UK, 45,380. For India's is 2,170 rupees. It is 45,380 rupees, 70,430 rupees, and Norway, which is 80,4090 rupees. It is high income countries, right? So on the basis of it, we can say Norway, US, UK, they are developed countries. Upper countries like China, Brazil, and South Africa, they are upper middle income countries, and lower middle income countries, and is India. But United Nations nomenclature of developed and developing is being used less and less and often contested. Former President Donald Trump has criticized the categorization of China developing country. So this is how it can be a developing country. will allow to enjoy some benefits in the World Trade Organization. If China is a developing country, then US also be made developing countries, because he is saying in the perspective that China is exporting, it is export hub, it is exporting various goods and services to US. It has trade surplus with US. Trade surplus with US. That's why how it can be a developing country. It is a developed country. That is what Donald Trump has trying to pressurize it. But why it is United Nations declassification contested? It can be argued that UN classification is not very accurate, as such has limited analytical value. Only the top three countries, UK, US, and Norway, fall in the developed country category. The 31 developed countries according to UN in all rest in, except 17 economies in transition, as designated developing countries, even though they in terms of proportion, China per capita income is closer to Norway than Somalia's. China per capita income is 26 times than Somalia, while Norway is just about 7 times than of China's. So whether China should be called as economic transition or it is a developing country. Then there are countries such as Ukraine, as per capita income is 4,000, a third of China, that are designated as economy in transition. Designated as economy in transition. Where India stands? India is currently far behind both the so-called developed countries and as well as some developing countries. The absolute in terms of absolute GDP, it is on that India is one of the biggest economies of the world. Even the US and China are even far ahead. Still, India is one of the biggest economies of the world so far as mm, absolute value of the GDP is concerned. See, this is in Norway, this is USA, UK, China, and it is India so far as Human Development Index is concerned. And so far as gross national product, gross national income per capita, India, this is India, this is China, and this is UK, US, and Norway. To be classified a developed country, on average income of a country's people matters more. And on per capita income, man behind even Bangladesh. China's per capita income is 5.5 times that of India, and UK's is almost 33 times. Average income of countries people matters more. So average income of countries people. So there should be more per capita income, so that India can be called as a developed country. For that, we need a huge growth, huge manufacturing growth, huge service sector growth, right? Providing employment, investing, creating various startups. The disparities per capita income often show of overall quality of life in different countries. Right? That's overall quality of life. That means there is very inter uh, regional disparity at international level. Right? At the same time, Norway is a huge developed country, which is 33 times, which is multiple times than UK is almost 33 times than per capita incomes than as compared to India, which is very huge, right? Huge disparity we can see divide between the north and south. Disparities per capita income often show overall quality of life in different countries. A way to map this look is score of India and other countries in Human Development Index (HDI). A composite index and the final value reached by looking three factors: health, longevity, citizens, quality of education they receive, and their standard of life. These longevity, health, quality of education, and their standard of life they determine the HDI or Human Development Index. India has made a secular improvement in the HDI matrix. For instance, life expectancy at birth, one of the some metrics of HDI in India, has gone from around 40 years in 1947 to around 70 years now. So 40 years 1947 to 70 years it has increased. So significant life expectancy has increased. So as we can say that our health is in has health sector has improved. Also taken giant strides in education enrollment, primary, secondary, and tertiary level. Around 92% are more around 99 more than 95% people are getting enrollment, right? 95% people students are getting enrollment, right? So, or we have a demographic dividend. Majority of our population, that is 35% of our population, are below the age of so, are youth, we can say, below the age of 35 years. Sorry, 60% of population below the age of 35 years. So it's a huge demographic dividend that can be used. For the distance to left cover, when compared to developed countries like China, India has a fair distance to cover. A 2018 diagnostic report on India and the World Bank said, even though India is world's third largest economy in purchasing power parity terms, most Indians still relevantly poor compared to people in other middle income countries. 10% of Indians most have the consumption level above the common use threshold, that is $10 per day expenditures for the global middle class. 10% of India has more than as middle class, above the middle class they are using. Also, other metrics such as food share for consumption suggest that every rich household in India would have to see substantial expansion in their total consumption to reach the level of poor to reach levels of poor households in rich countries. So total consumption is almost like the poor households in rich countries. That is the consumption of food in rural households in India's rich households. How much India can achieve by 2047? One way to make this assessment is to look how long in other countries to get to there. For instance, per capita income terms, Norway has India's current level 56 years of ago. In 1996, Norway was there, but so it will take time for India. We'll see how much time it will take to India to become a developed country. Comparing India and China, China reached the mark in 2007. Theoretically, when India was to grow fast in China, did 2007 and 2022. Then, broadly speaking, it will take India another 15 years to be where China is at now. Another 15 years. It will take another 15 years for India to reach where China is at present. But then China's current per capita income will be achieved by developed countries several decades earlier. The UK in 1987 and the US in Norway 1979, they have already achieved. So after 15 years will be equivalent to where China is at present. India's current SDI score is much lower than what any developed countries had even 1980s. China reached 0.64 level in 2004 and took another 13 years to reach 0.75 level. That incidentally the level of which UK has run 1980. So it will take a much time, at least to reach where China is at present. We need 15 years. The World Bank 2018 report has made mention that India could achieve by 2047. Uh, had a mention of what India could achieve in 2047. By 2000 centenary of independence, at least half of citizens would join the ranks of global middle class. By most definition, mean that households have access better education, healthcare, clean water, improved sanitation, reliable electricity, safe environment, affordable housing, and enough discretionary income to spend on leisure pursuits. So that will occur by 2047. But it will also let a precondition for this happen. Fulfilling this application require income as well as extreme poverty line. Above the extreme poverty line, that should occur. Income should be increased. Vastly improve public service delivery. That is especially the education, health, public transport, environment. These are the things that need to be developed. To see this in perspective, last count 2013, 281 million people living in extreme poverty. 2013, 218 million people living in extreme poverty. By 2021, we can say only 5% are today they live in extreme poverty. So the lecture end here, and you must like this video and subscribe to VANIK-IAS and encourage us. Thank you.